Thank you back. Thank you for coming on back. Thank you for tuning on in. We'll be introducing these two duelists who will be doing their feature match for round number 4. There is 4 more to go, so don't turn away. So, bringing to the stage our reigning German national champion, Jack Verma, all the way from Germany. Hey Jack, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling fine. I'm confident and just want to win.
Okay, so you're feeling confident about your deck, more or less, I guess. Okay, so you're currently, of course, 3-0. One of the reasons you'll probably be up here. But do you think, we've seen some features and stuff where the meta has seemed to be a bit slower. Do you think because of the Forbidden Limited list, or do you think it's probably the shift in mentality of a lot of players currently?
I'm not really sure, but the meta is really slow because of the ban list, and yeah.
Okay. Like, do you think that you've tested enough, actually, to get enough time to get in for this event? Or do you think, well, I have a few events, wins, and tops under my belt. I'm pretty well versed in my deck. I think I could be expected to play against anything.
Yeah, I tested a lot of the last 2 weeks, and yeah, I know usually any matchup, so it should be good, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Jack. Take a seat, man. And now, also a person who also tops some events and is also way into the competitive scene. Henry, how you doing? Okay, hi Henry. How do you feel about this event so far, actually?
I really like the event so far, but I think with the registration and stuff, it was a bit, it was hard. But I actually wanted to register this morning, so I had more time to think about my choices. But when I saw that already so many players registered for the event, I just said, okay, I will just register in the last half hour. Yeah.
So do you think the deck that you chose for this today, well, currently, of course, you're 3-0, so of course the deck you probably decided on was the one you thought you will win it with. But do you feel confident enough to maybe think, I could probably take it all?
I think my deck choice is okay because it's the only deck that I really played in the last time. I was thinking about playing other decks, but I'm happy with my deck choice so far.
Any tough matchups that you had so far?
Sorry?
Any tough matchups you've had so far?
Yeah, I think the Sky Striker matchup is pretty hard. The more control-y decks are probably the decks to beat. But yeah, I think my deck is pretty good against everything that's currently in the meta.
Okay, thank you, Henry. Take a seat. Henri Dopheide, everybody. Right now, we'll be getting the duelists ready. Hope you guys are ready. We have the commentators of this following round, Steven Jacobs and Marcelli Barberi.
Welcome to Round 4, everyone. So we have 2 really good players, a German showdown actually, and Henry surely knows his opponent because he's the former and current German national champion. So Jack, one of the players to keep an eye on, always consistent. He had a pretty good season. We saw him top quite a few events outside of his championship. And since they now have their headphones on, we can talk about the decks too. Right. If you follow Jack's path at the German national champion, you know he won with Altergeist. Again, a lot of months passed, but still using the same deck, Altergeist. What do you think of his choice in general?
The thing is, I know Jack, and I think ever since I know him as a player, he's, as you said, always playing Altergeist.
Exactly.
It's just his deck. And I don't know, we have mentioned it before, he just feels comfortable with the deck, he knows the deck in and out, he knows the combos, he knows, very importantly, he knows how to play against particular matchup, particular deck, so it's just Yeah,
it's working for him. And
Yeah.
to be fair, you do see this kind of like two different kinds of players. There is the players that adapt a lot to the new cards, to the new forbidden lists, and keeps on changing decks. But there are also these very loyal players to one strategy, which at the same time can be very successful. For example, Thomas Rose, which we seen previously, was playing Burning Abyss for like years, and he won 2 events with it. So it does work. And something I'm worrying about from Harry, who is playing instead an Orcust version with a lot of weird choice there. Like, for example, he's playing some Paleozoic cards as well, super polymerization. He was worried about control matchups. And Altergeist is definitely one of them. So maybe this won't be the happiest, let's say, match. But anyway, this die roll I think will be important. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go to the match.
Okay.
Okay, so now they're gonna roll the dice. So if they didn't already, seems like they did. So it does play a huge role because, of course, Altergeist plays a lot of chops, and if you can stop the Orcust deck, especially now that Mermaid is gone, it can be a lot easier. And Henri doesn't look that good. He has 3 normal summons at the moment.
Yeah, he's playing, I think, 7
Yeah.
with the 3, at least, good start. It's like 3
Exactly.
Mathematician, the Armageddonite Greffer, and 2 Scrap Recycler. So
Very unfortunate to open all because just an Entrap would be enough. Also, the Imperial Order, amazing card in general, but not against Altergeist, especially going second. So
Extravagance is always nice. Getting the extra plus, the extra card, or 2 cards to work with, especially for like a trap-heavy anti-meta deck, it's very solid.
even though they both had very weird end at the moment, Jack has both Silk and the Conquery, which are the only Altergeist you really don't want to draw. You want to search them. So these draws are important. I think he picked up Compulsory and another spell. Might have been another pot, to be fair.
Ooh, he's running 3, right?
Yeah.
What you get?
It's Called by the Grave, actually. Called by the Grave, which is going to be huge here.
Okay, yeah.
So not the best start from Jack. Very, very slow. And Called by the Grave probably being the best card he has at the moment.
Yeah, we see the opening and the Imperial Order, as you mentioned, not that fantastic.
Yeah.
Called by the Grave.
Also very shaky in this match.
Wonderwand as well. It's not looking too great. Just solely based on the opening hand of Henri.
But at the same time, very unfortunate. Like the Orcust deck, especially the pure version now, has a lot of extenders. You play like Eastern Fusion, Mind Control, and opening none of them means that Henri turn is over right now. He's just gonna set 2 and pass. So.
Is something like, as we have seen, Pure Orcust or Lunalight Orcust, but Dangers have been completely out of Orcust. What do you think about it? Should they main deck Dangers or completely abandon the way?
It's definitely a different trend. I think that the Lunalight deck should keep on playing them just because they have so many ways of like summoning Curious, so they really help with that. But these Orcust, like Pure Orcust, if you're not going for the Mermaid, I don't think the Dangers do anything for you. So
Right.
I do agree with Henri's decision, but his deck list seems slightly more on the defensive side. Usually you see a lot more extenders. He has 10 traps, which is...
That's really out of the ordinary.
A lot.
Yeah. The triple Dynamiscus. We see double Crescendo, triple Impermanence.
And he picks up another Mathematician, so even one more normal summon. This is getting...
Yeah, this could be a short game.
Very clunky, yeah.
The Scrap Recycler.
But again, now he knows that the protocol is there. If worst case scenario, he wants to do that. I think you probably can wait and use the Call by the Grave on whatever he sends. What do you think?
He's going, Impermanence. Okay.
Impermanence.
The same column as Call by the Grave.
And that's enough. Also, here the Conquery is gonna protect the Silk, which just a few moments.
Yeah.
And now Jack has the chance to actually capitalize here with this advantage. You really want to pick up something like a Protocol or a Melusik, but even if you don't, you're kind of locking your opponent out of options.
Plus,
you just,
plus Henri's hand again, it's not. I mean, before with Nightmare Mermaids and Phoenix, you could get those dead cards from your hand and make use of those cards, and that's what they're missing now.
Very nice pickup, but Imperial Order is face down from Henri, let's not forget that.
Right.
So at the same time, he has the Silk, which I believe is what's gonna happen here. He can chain the protocol and then use the Silk, exactly what's gonna happen. So very well played here by Jack, and it seems like his advantage is getting out of hand. Yeah, he picks up even Duality and Marionetter, so it seems like he's running away with this one. And you can see why Henri was concerned with playing against trap decks.
Especially going second.
Yeah, it's tough. He decided not to main like Twin Twister or anything like that, so which isn't super popular this weekend, surprisingly. While it's worth mentioning that you said Jesse Cotton won last weekend in UDS in Panama, and he was actually playing Retribute in the main deck, which could be a very cool decision.
Interesting, yeah.
Maybe he's currently 3-0 as well, and he should be playing a very similar deck, so maybe we can get him also for a future match later on.
Yeah, that would be very interesting, yeah.
Anyway, back to the game, let's see what he picks up. I don't really see much that he can pick up, but of course you gotta try and stay in the...
Combos, Ash Blossom is nice, and another Call by the Grave.
Getting tougher and tougher here. Honestly, they're all really good options still.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new, kinda new, Get Out, the trap card? That's like basically a double compulsory.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is that, let's say against Orcust, you're just focusing on your extra deck monsters, and if you can, let's say, like double combos or whatever, it's very, very strong. Or against something like Thunders, which heavily, it's depending on their fusions, Get Out or something. Yeah,
it's probably a blowout.
It's a blowout. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Maybe we can see some. Oh, and Crescendo is picked up again. He's gonna just try. Yeah.
Again, he needs that normal summon, the precious normal summon, but Jack has all the answers.
Yeah, this is not gonna work. I am pretty sure after this turn, Henri is probably gonna pick up his cards, and here is one of the things why I'm very skeptical about this pure Orcust at the moment, especially Henri version with very few extenders. If they stop your normal summon, you're done. Like, well, before, it was great because you baited the end trap with it, and then any two monsters made Mermaid. Well, now, it's very tough. Here you can see the very cool interaction of Silk and Manifestation. You can bounce and still resolve because of the very peculiar text of the card.
Manifestation, yeah.
And I mean,
yeah. What could Henri do? I mean, he still has a scrap recycler in his hand. He has the quote-unquote Dead World Legacy card in his hand. Imperial Order is not doing anything currently. So, what could he top deck to well facilitate his the game state? Or
I really don't see it.
Indeed. I'm thinking. I'm looking at the list, but
it's like super polymerization, but you don't have targets against the Altergeist deck either. So it's. I really don't see it, and I mean, I guess time isn't that important in this particular matchup. If he was playing against Kai Striker, I would guarantee you that he already would have scooped at this point.
Right.
Because you know you need as much time as possible against Kai Striker, but maybe he's just believing in the art of the cards. Sure.
Yeah, who knows? Like, just don't give up too soon. I've seen and witnessed personally like a lot of situations where, oh man, I'm probably gone, or I probably lost a duel, and one card that you probably didn't think of could get you back in a duel. 5 sets. Yeah,
and the R partner is picked up, and
of course.
Henri has seen enough, so Jack, even though he lost and he won the Daryl, he won this game 1, so he will advance with a huge advantage because after siding, it seems like Jack is the one that's the most prepared for the matchup. He can bring in a few more entrops, DD Crow being a really good one, I would say.
Yeah. DD Crow is becoming more popular, right? As we have seen from the UDS last week as well. It's becoming more of an important hand trap against, obviously, Orcust, for example.
Yeah, because before the main focus point was stopping the Mermaid. Well, now you know that they don't always have the access to the Orcust cars. So if you banish the one copy of like ARP or Nightmare, that they struggle even to send there in the first place.
And also, one thing I think is relatively new, at least for this new TCG format, is that Orcust players are started to main deck the level 1, the Bombard.
Oh yeah.
Can I call it new? I mean, it wasn't too common in previous TCG formats. Because, well, you know, you can just go for Link Rebo, set it up in your graveyard. It's basically a one-card Orcust field combo.
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely something new, although the card is rather old, and it is something that we're seeing in most Orcust decks. Talking of his own deck, he actually has a pretty good side deck here, because Pancratops, Evenly, and Twister are all amazing. So there is a word in which he also picks second. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but he has a lot of cards that are very good at going second. Pancratops especially, it's something that we have not seen too much lately, just because of the new decks, but against the rogue like Subterror and Altergeist, it's probably the best.
Let's see. I see a lot of spells.
I see a lot of spells. I'm struggling to see if he has a combo. I don't think so.
No, an Ash Blossom Twin Twister.
I think it's double Twin Twister and the Orcust return.
Yeah, Orcust return.
Wow, a very bad end here from Henri. Very unfortunate. Orcust return actually being one of the best cards for the new pure Orcust. Just because you basically go through your deck, but it works as a Mermaid. But he doesn't pick up any of his Orcust cards, and now he's gonna struggle.
Yeah, it's really cool that that Orcust players started to main deck the quote-unquote Destiny draw, right?
Yeah.
Or Orcust return. But before they were just main decking, let's say, one Crescendo and maybe the field spell, and that's it. But now they're adding in 2 copies of return, maybe even 3 copies of return. But now he needed the Mathematician, the Scrap Recycler, the Armageddonite, and now he doesn't.
Unfortunately, game 1 he opens all of them. Game 2 he doesn't open any. Even though at the same time Jack hand is just entrops. He now picks up the Melusic, which is super important, but he had 4 entrops, so that probably could have stopped any opening from Henri. Very good pickup though.
Yeah, wow.
Now this is gonna be tough. The Dynamiscus is a really good answer to it. He's not using it though.
It's a huge cost though. I mean, do you really want to discard something from the...
You just lose a card for free. Why do you not do it though?
Yeah.
Like you prevent the Melusic from adding a card. I'm really surprised by this. Like what are you gonna use it on then? Very, very strange. And let's see if he can pick up an Orcust card. It's a Scrap Recycler, not what he was looking for. I think the Orcust was just better because you wanted to draw and use the return, but you gotta use what you have and hope that this Scrap Recycler for the first out of like 5 times in this match is gonna resolve.
Yeah, and we know that it's
that's not gonna happen.
We're seeing the hand and it's not looking good.
Are you surprised that Jack didn't set the impermanence in the same column as Henri? Or was he playing against his own opponent impermanence?
Yeah, I think so. That seems like the more logical reason, making sure that his own impermanence will go through.
Ooh, and even the Faker,
Faker
that's
as well.
So huge. Yeah, this is very tough. We can now see that he actually didn't even set it on Dynamis because that's why he didn't use it, but still very odd. And yeah, the one lonely copy of Multifigure is picked up and such a big advantage.
It's cool that Altergeist is still doing this well, even though with only one
Yeah.
multi-faker. I was like, when they hit multi-faker to 1 on the Forbidden Unlimited list, I was like, ah, okay, that's a big hit for Altergeist. We might not, well, maybe. But still, it's doing good.
I think it's almost doing better.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
weirdly
exactly.
enough.
I have the same feeling.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I'm seeing more of it and more in the top cut even, which is so weird, but
Yeah, from like deck profiles, there is always like that one Altergeist
Yeah.
player in the top 32. Always one.
exactly. Now he adds the Marionetter to his already very powerful hand,
Yeah.
and I still struggle to see a way out of this from Henri.
We haven't seen him Dengirsu yet.
We haven't seen any Orcust
Any
cards,
Orcust.
really. This
Yeah,
could have
now
been
you say
like
that.
a Machina gadget over
Oh.
there, yeah. Marionetter comes down, and yeah. This is getting slightly sad, I gotta say, for Henri. I feel bad for him. And to be fair, his deck doesn't even look that wrongly built, you know? It's just that in game 1 he saw all of his normal summons, and now he didn't see any of them.
Yeah. It's the same feeling that in Monarch era, you're drawing all of your Tribute
Yeah.
Father, all of your small pieces, your Tribute Father, of course, like Stormfort or whatever, and in second game you're drawing all tributes. It feels the same.
It happens, and unfortunately, sometimes it's just not your day, and let's hope that it is just not his match, not the day. He can still recover because they are both undefeated at the moment. So
Yeah.
still plenty of duels. We are just only at the pretty much halfway through day 1, so a lot more action. Can he draw an Orcust? No. Still, Ash Blossom.
Yeah, the thing is that if he Ling summons, there is still the Phantasme that can give like
Yeah.
extra draws. He has Ash Blossom, he has DD Crow. I think it's just delaying the inevitable, I think,
Kind of.
I feel.
Kind of. I do tend to agree with you. Maybe just because he also has the manifestation, and yeah, it's looking tough. Maybe the Pancratops could have been a good start, because Pancratops plays around all of the entraps, you know. You just start pushing with that. Maybe that's one of the best draws he can get. But is it winning you the game? The thing is, there is a difference between not losing and winning, you know. Can he get it? I think it's another Arporer. Which isn't horrible.
Yeah, he just scarred up the return, right? Orcust return.
Yeah, he doesn't have the return anymore. Still a decent normal summon. He's just gonna try and play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like the old
school days.
The old school days.
Yeah.
And he can Ash this, potentially. Let's see what he wants to do. He still has the Twin Twister set, and one or the other plays around it. Unfortunately, he picks the wrong one, because I mean, I'm kind of surprised by this. Like, he knows that there is a Altergeist car set.
Yeah.
Maybe the Twin Twister would have been better there, because he can get negated, and you also deal with the spoofing forever. So I think like Henri could have thought about that slightly more. But maybe he was fearing Solemn Judgment. Not sure. Definitely a 3 of decision there.
Another DD Crow. Okay.
Yeah, and as we knew,
Yeah.
he just flips the card and get it back. That's
Yeah.
why I really didn't like that play. He could have usually just used the Twin Twister, destroyed the spoofing, and maybe the Unknown Trap, and left his opponent with just the manifestation. No, or rather the Protocol, sorry. But now,
Again.
yeah, the figure comes back, because you know that this was going to happen.
Of course.
That's why I think Henri should have really put more thought into the play last turn. And at this point, Jack is free to do whatever he wants.
The Hexja?
Yeah.
Hexja? Yeah.
I think when you are an experienced player as well, you could have picked up the tail, because your opponent didn't use the Ash immediately and checked his back row. So maybe you can also understand that that's a twin twister. So, and it seems by how Jack is playing that he knows, because he's just going for it.
Yeah.
Like-
That's the thing about really, like, you feel someone is so comfortable of playing his deck, and especially reading your opponent's mind and reading your opponent's like mimics, his face and body language.
Yeah, it pays a huge, like, he can change the game completely upside down. I remember quite a few more matches as well completely being decided by a tell from my opponent. So
Right.
or even maybe just from my side, like I gave them the idea, you know. That's also something interesting.
Yeah.
So let's.
I think they're
see.
just checking the life points. Not really sure what's the hold up here.
Yeah, they are just checking the life points difference. Also the attack of XT, of course.
Right. But again, yeah, he has the double DD Crow set in his hand, so one of them is definitely going to be used as soon as Harp Horror will hit the graveyard. So yeah, that brings me with the question I asked earlier.
Okay.
Like, what could Henri top deck to bring him back?
I
Strong
think,
in the
as I
duel.
was saying, in the previous turns, you had quite a few turns in which you could have drawn the Pancratops. Now I think it's too late, because the XT as well is just bigger, and he's gonna left, like, basically he's not gonna have any cards, like, face down or in his hand. Yeah, the Twin Twister gets destroyed.
Sent to the graveyard, yeah.
And this is just too much to handle for Henri. Very well managed by Jack, who for sure expected Orcust walking into this event. We can't say the same about Henri. As you were saying, you do see from time to time that one Altergeist player in the top cut, but it is not the deck you prepare for when walking into an event.
Yeah.
Call by the Grave is picked up, and this DD Crow is gonna seal the game. Maybe he can chain it, but of course he's gonna get negated by Extia, so I don't think this matters at this point.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate, right? Again, we haven't seen any Gelati, Tinkirsu, any Orcust action in
He
general.
didn't even use his extra deck at all the entire match. And when an Orcust that goes first even that many times and doesn't get to use the extra deck, you really gotta wonder what has happened. Yeah.
It's like mixed feelings, since again you're getting the feature match, and you definitely want to do well and open well and play the game, but it's just, again, as we have seen a couple of times already today, it's just luck isn't on your side. And there is the handshake.
Yeah, there is the handshake. Jack wins convincingly 2-0, and let's go back to us for the match analysis. Yeah, it was a quick one this time. Unfortunate, very big, weird match, I gotta say. Like, Henri in his interview said that he was kind of nervous, that he hoped that he would have had more time to prepare for the event, and that in the end he just went with what he liked, but he knew in his mind that control decks were his weakness.
Yeah, and as we see in the list, I mean, he took some risks, maybe, like main decking the Dynamiscus in the main deck, super polymerization as well. So it's not really the standard for Orcust, but now it didn't work out.
It didn't, but I do kind of agree with some of his decisions, because when you don't have a deck that's like for sure better than the rest of the competition, you gotta take some risks. Like, you're not gonna win an event going with the standard version.
Yeah.
So if you expect Orcust to be the most played deck, which we know is the case in this event, you wanna basically steal some wins with super polymerization and all of these decks from game one. But yeah, you do have to accept that in such a wide format, you can play against Altergeist, you can play against Subterror, Paleozoics. We've seen it all day. And I don't think we are going to stop seeing that for the rest of the weekend. Anyway, props to Henri, still X1.
X1.
So
Everything is still possible.
a lot still to do, but the man of the day and at least of the match is Jack, so congratulations to him trying to get his second title of the day. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Again, we're just at the half of the day and we're gonna go now to JJ for the interview.
And thank you, Marcello. That was actually a pretty awesome match. You know, it was, I wouldn't say like running a clinic, it was sort of like to show an example of how the current Forbidden and Limitless puts a whole lot of decks that was running rampant in the format before a little bit in check, and having decks like Altergeist, like Paleozoic Frogs and stuff, trying to keep these combo decks in check. Do you think, you know, the meta how it's going now, that traps are actually really good right now?
Yeah, it depends on the decks, but in decks like Altergeist or Paleozoic, it's obviously good, because the traps are also really good going second, like Compulse or Impermanence, etc.
Okay, so then, you know, you playing this game just now. Were there any instances in a match you thought that maybe, oh God, if he picked up a certain key card that would have been able to have him go off sooner, maybe he picked up like a Twinters or something sooner to help him push through the board? Of course, you had like 3 or more set, but at least would you think that it would have helped him at least come back in the game a little bit?
He could have come back into the game if I would have used spoofing in the end phase where he drew. Then he could have Twin Twister my spoofing and I wouldn't have any other engine cards. But I realized that that wouldn't be the right way, so I didn't risk that.
Okay, so taking the safe play, going for the win, not doing anything too over enthusiastic, and playing it at a nice slow tempo with a very good and resourceful grindy deck. Well, thank you, Jack. Thank you for coming on, and I wish you an awesome run in the tournament, and there'll be more coverage after this.